So Dominic Raab, obviously, in his new post as Justice Secretary, is, emphasising, as you say, just how they want to get tough. But the fact is, in terms of violence against women, if you look at rape convictions, for instance, just a tiny proportion of the complaints of rape that are made by women to the police ever reach as far as a prosecution, never mind a successful prosecution. That's a big issue they've got to address if they want to actually convince women that they are serious about going after those who abuse and hurt them in such a terrible way. And the fact is as well, very few of the crimes committed against women are actually in public spaces. Most of these offences are happening in your own home by a person known to that woman, usually a loved one. That is a big, big issue that, as important as the issue around Sarah Everard is, has been slightly forgotten in all of this conversation. But to take you back to the original point that Dominic Raab was making, and also Priti Patel, about this inquiry, looking at whether there were failings and systemic failings within the Metropolitan Police, the police service more generally. But looking at Wayne Couzens, the first part of this two-part independent inquiry will look at what was known about him, his behaviour, whether there were any warning signs that could have been picked up on that might have stopped him or at least kicked him out of the force before he did what he did. And we know that there are allegations against Wayne Couzens of indecent exposure going back as far as 2015 in the Kent police area.
Yeah, I mean, alarming stuff. I mean, we've heard, haven't we? So he's going to £30 million, CCTV, better lighting, a rape hotline, being able to access mobile phones to download evidence quickly. But we've got such long queues in the criminal justice system. It's turning out that, by the time a rape case gets to court, years have passed and people are expected to remember granular details.
Yes, I mean, there is a massive backlog of cases waiting to go up through from the Magistrates' Court right up to the Crown Court. And you're right, it's a combination of the waiting list to get these cases to court and also the difficulties in putting a case together now, because not only have prosecutors and police investigators to go through the more traditional routes of gathering the material evidence on the ground, the samples, the bodily samples, witness statements from both the person making the complaint in the first place, any people that might corroborate that potential victim's account, also the suspect and any corroborating evidence they have to justify their side. But there's the whole sort of electronic sphere now where police officers are finding themselves trawling through people's social media records to see whether that legitimises or otherwise a complaint that is being made. It is just adding to the length of time that it takes to put these cases before the court. And as you said, Alex, that period of time that passes makes it all the more difficult for someone under terrible stress anyway to recall salient points.